Hey, que pasa, Calexico? Welcome back to the podcast. First of all, before I start, I want to thank Calexico Brewing Company once again for allowing me to record here at their location. And then the other people want to thank is my sponsor. I have two sponsors now. My friends from Las Pichoneras, Omar and Sergio Armenta. So thank you guys for sponsoring me. And also, elections are over, so I want to thank the people who are on my podcast that allow me to interview them and congratulate those that won. I wish I could have had more time to interview more of the candidates, but this is like my hobby, and I have a life too, so it's kind of hard to focus on this 100%, but it's kind of hard. And the other thing is, like, I want to thank all the veterans out there. This weekend we have a long weekend, and it's because we're celebrating Veterans Day. And I feel that we need to, if you know a veteran, make sure you thank them. Make sure you spend time with them, because sometimes when they come home, they're fighting the biggest war instead of, the one that they left or whatever. Sometimes they come here and they have like some, bigger wars to fight, and we need to help them because, we had a tragedy this past week, and I don't want to say it was because of, the mental problems, but it could have, I think it could have helped if he had some help from, their friends or just, medical help. But, make sure you thank your veterans and spend time with them this weekend. Today's guest is our new athletic director for Calexico High School, Ms Lorena Rodriguez. Thank you for being here.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. I feel honored to be here.
Like I said, I know it came out of the blue because it's like, oh yeah, I have a podcast. You're like, oh, well, you have a podcast, yeah. And the reason I want to invite you was because I feel that at AD in a high school, especially in a small town, is somebody that is a big part of the community, because sports in a small community is something big, because it gives us something to do, like on a Friday night or Thursday night whenever we have basketball games. So I feel that our community needs to get to know you, like, at least if it's not like personally go visit you, but at least give you this opportunity to kind of like
get to know who I am.
Yeah,
see who I am.
Yeah. And usually how I start my podcast is I have my guests tell us a little bit about themselves. I know we were talking about it right now, and I kind of like doing that before I start recording, because it kind of gives me questions to ask you and kind of get to know you if I don't completely know you, But tell us a little bit about yourself, because I know you've had a long history of traveling and teaching and this and whatnot. So first of all, tell us, I guess to me it was interesting how your parents and where you were born and where you lived.
I'll start from there then. Okay, my mom is originally from Mexicali. Mm-hmm. She grew up in Calexico. She's a bulldog. She went to Calexico High School, so I have that for me as well. My mom met my dad in Spain as she was backpacking through Europe. She met him. They fell in love and came to Calexico, El Centro. They had me. I was born here. At 6 months old, I moved to Spain because my dad's originally from there. So he wanted to move back to his home country. I grew up in Spain until I was about 5 years old. At 5 years old, me and my sister was born over there. We moved to Imperial with my mom and my dad. And so I grew up in Imperial. I went to school at Ben Halls, then Frank Wright, and then Imperial High School. I graduated in 1999 as an Imperial Tiger. So even though I graduated as an Imperial Tiger, I'm a Bulldog at heart. I love the Bulldogs. I've been at this district for a very long time, and I love Calexico. So after high school, I did go to college, IVC. Then I went to San Diego State and Point Loma, Nazarene University in San Diego, where I got my credential. And then after that, I did move to Spain again because my dad wanted to go back. I was able to teach elementary over there. I taught English. And then I was like, you know what? It's time to move back. Then I moved to Florida with my family. And I taught elementary there as well. And then I moved back to Calexico, where I taught PE, junior high, at William Moreno for about 7 to 8 years. Uh-huh. And at William Moreno, I was able to be the athletic director and the ASB director. And I taught PE, which I love and still love. And then just recently, the past 2.5 years, going on my 3rd year, I've been a PE teacher at Calexico High School. So I've had the opportunity to travel a lot and live in a variety of places and teach a vast amount of grade levels. And so I just love the experience that I've been able to work with a bunch of different grade levels.
Yeah. I remember during the summer we were trying to hire somebody for this position.
Yes.
And one of the people we were interviewing was in New York. The other one was in Ohio somewhere.
Yes.
And to me, it was like when I saw where these people were, because I think one of them was like from the Palm Desert area. Or,
yes, one from Palm Desert and the other one from New York. I remember
so I was
that,
like,
yes.
why are we hiring somebody from not from, at least from the Valley, because I feel that somebody in this position needs to kind of I feel like anybody works at our school needs to kind of know the demographic.
Yes, 100%.
Because we, our population isn't anywhere else. We have a vast, I don't know, it's really different.
It's different, yeah. Calexico is a different environment.
Do you feel at least I feel, but do you feel that it's important that we hire somebody that kind of knows the community or knows?
Yes,
kind of kids?
I agree 100%. Someone from the community who knows our kids, who knows our teachers, who knows our admin, who knows our community in general. I think it's important because they know what the people want, what the people need, how to talk to the people, and having lived here and worked here in Calexico, I just think it is important to have someone who is from here.
Mm-hmm. Especially, you that have worked in, not only at the high school, but junior high here in Calexico, it's...
Yeah, being able to have that rapport with the admin at the junior high level and the teachers, the PE teachers, and the kids, and just being able to have that rapport with them is a good connection because we need those feeder schools, the junior high, Kiki, we need Willie, we need those kids to buy into our program and say, hey, I want to be a Bulldog. I want to play sports as a Bulldog. So to have that rapport and that connection with the 2 junior highs, I think is great.
Yeah. We work for education and I guess our main focus is, educating the students.
Of course.
And there's sometimes where, I've seen in the past where, parents get upset because their kids can't play because of grades. Do you feel that, it's something that, the community needs to understand where sports are kind of like an incentive to,
Yes, it says it in with the students. They're called student athletes. They're not athletes first, they're students first. So I wholeheartedly believe that it's an incentive to play a sport. Like, hey, if I get good grades, I can play a sport. So I want to encourage kids, hey, you got to get good grades. And I think athletics goes hand in hand with being a student because being an athlete teaches you responsibility, teaches you organization, and all that plays into being a student. As a student, you have to be organized, you have to be responsible. So if we can get our students to be good academically, it'll go hand in hand with sports, and it'll help them with both.
Yeah, and because me being a parent as a student athlete, I tell them I kind of sounds cliche where teachers tell the students, I don't give grades, you earn
them. Yeah.
So at the same time, if you want to play, you gotta earn it.
You gotta earn it. Yes, yeah. Correct. And I know we have coaches that do encourage their athletes to go to tutoring, after school, do your homework, stuff like that. So I know we do have coaches that do encourage our kids.
Do you know if the high school has somewhere where kids can?
Yes, I believe the Assets program does provide tutoring, and I know teachers provide it. So that's more that I want to learn about so that I can relay that message to the kids and to the coaches and say, hey, these teachers are offering tutoring. Let's go to them. And I know coaches themselves are teachers, so that helps a lot because they have those kids in their classes or they know. I know, for example, I was coaching volleyball and I had an athlete in my volleyball team, and her history teacher, he's a coach, and he wrote me an email. Hey, I'm concerned about this student. I'm like, perfect. So to have coaches on staff, and it makes it a lot easier, and they care about the kids and they want them just to excel in school and on the field.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that when I was talking to Coach Terry, is we need more coaches that are on campus.
Yes, it would help a lot because kids would see them on campus and they'd be like, oh, there's my teacher and there's my coach. So I got to make sure to be better behaved and have better grades and know that I can't mess up because I want to play in that game next week.
And as of right now, you're not like officially like the full-time AD because, you know, I guess they're trying to get your PE position filled.
Yeah, correct. I'm not committed. I'm not in that position full time. It's still Mr. Alvarado, and which I'm learning a lot from him. But right now I'm still teaching my PE classes, and every chance I get during my prep or after school, I go and shadow Mr. Alvarado to just gain as much knowledge as I can from him.
Yeah, and because I guess a lot of people when they get a new job, they're like, you know, oh no, you know, I don't need help. You feel like, you know, asking people who have some kind of experience, do you feel it's
for me, yes. I think if someone's done that job before and they're good at it, I'm going to ask them for help because they know what they're doing. They know the community. I'm always one to ask for help because there's some things that I know that I don't know. And so I'm always going to reach out to someone to ask them for guidance because they've been there, done that. And so I will reach out. That's just my personality. I want knowledge and experience from someone that's already done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because normally we don't go into a job, like, especially a new job, like, knowing everything, you know.
Yeah, there's no rule book sometimes, and you're just kind of thrown in there. And I think this is working out great where I'm able to have someone guide me through the process.
Yeah, because Mr. A shout out to Mr. A. Yeah. He's a PE teacher, he was an AD, and then he was an admin. Yeah,
so he knows a lot. Like, he's seen everything under the sun, and if I can just grasp a little bit that he can show me, then I'm going to take it all in. Yeah. I'm always looking for anyone who can guide me in the right direction. Anyone with more knowledge and experience. Yes.
Okay. So this month we start basketball, or
yes, we're going to be doing girls and boys basketball, girls and boys soccer, and wrestling for boys and girls as well.
So, and, you know, we've been working with the Facebook and the website, you know.
Yes.
We're going to try, because nothing against Mr. Ray, but he, like, I feel like you're younger, so, like, you're more technology, I guess, like.
Technology generation.
Yeah, like, we can put out stuff out there in our website and our Facebook. So, like, yeah, you know, that's something that I wanted to, you know, do for a while, but especially, like, sometimes Mr. A, he used to get there, like, a little bit later because he used to stay later and he had certain hours that he could
because of the games and stuff like that, if there's games.
So sometimes, like, we couldn't get together, but I hope that, you know, we can focus a little bit more on that so that we can, you know, now that parents and kids are on
texting and phone, social media and stuff like that,
they'll get more information via that venue. And is there anything else that you kind of, like, wanted to, you know, ask the community, or
just to kind of bear with me in the beginning? It is going to be a learning process, and I know I'm not perfect, but I'm going to do my best to try and meet everyone's needs and just to do the best that I can. And with the guidance of Mr. A and any other administrator, I know Mr. Moreno, he was an AD before. Yeah. So just anyone, and I want to work with the community. I want them to know that I have an open door policy where they can come and talk to me whenever they need to. I'm all ears. I'm here to help our kids. I want our kids to flourish, and it makes me so happy when I go to games and see them. And win or lose, to me, it doesn't matter. It's about the experience and fighting hard and being committed. And so I hope the community gives me a chance. And
yeah, and I think it kind of sounds like cliche too, like when it's like, it's not about winning, you know, it's about having fun. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is. I mean, unless, like, you're this super athlete, then, you know, then I guess, you know, you can focus and like, you as an AD can say, like, you know, this kid has, like, potential to go
definitely
NBA. But at the end of the day, like, you know, kids are there to have fun. I know some people are competitive, parents are competitive, but
yes, I understand. Yes.
At the end of the day, you know, they're just kids, they're students, like student athletes.
They're student athletes. They go out there, they're playing a sport that they enjoy, that they love, and their parents get to go support them and watch them. And yeah, like you said, it is cliche to say it doesn't matter about winning or losing. I mean, I personally am very competitive, so I do not like losing as a coach. When I would coach and we would lose, I would just get so mad. But it's part of the game, and it just teaches us to work harder. And how can I change my strategies to be better and win the next time? And so, because sometimes when you win all the time, then you forget what it's like to lose. So, but I think a little good mix of winning and losing isn't bad.
Yeah, for sure. But
and I know losing a lot is hard, but I think it just helps us build a better program for the next year. And so,
do you there's something that I asked Herbie. Do you feel that kids are playing less and less sports now?
It may seem like that because of technology. I know that, but I mean, I teach PE, so I see it. There's those kids that love sports and those kids that don't. But I still see that there is a want and need for sports for kids. Depending on the area, I know some sports aren't as vibrant as others, but from my point of view, I think there is. And I try and encourage, my PE kids, if I see a good athlete in my PE class, hey, you should go for the sport. And sometimes they're a little bit embarrassed or shy. And so I just think a little bit of encouragement from teachers or classmates would help them want to try out for sports.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because that's something like, especially with football,
Yes.
You see like less Pop Warner teams. They might have like more like midgets or junior midgets and no peewees or like. So like I feel that I don't know. Like to me, it seems like less and less kids are
playing that particular sport. You mean? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because in other communities they are playing football. So I just think maybe we need to, I don't know, as a community, maybe like bring that back. And
yeah, because something that I talked with John was that when I played Pop Warner, I remember they would invite us to the football games. Like if you had your jersey, Pop Warner jersey, you would go in for free. You would walk out with the team.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks ago, Mr. A, he told me that the Pop Warner kids came and they ran out with the football team, and it just, when those little kids come, they glow. They're like, oh, I got to be a bulldog.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome. Yeah,
it kind of like paves the way for them to like go play in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's something that kind of like we might bring back, where it's like,
yeah, I would love to reach out to the Pop Warner and like the junior highs. I know they don't have football teams, but just encourage them to come out and stuff.
Yeah, because it was something that I liked. We would go in for free.
So you looked up to the football player, right? Like you wanted to be a football player.
You would go to the games and like you would know like, oh, that's Butch Morales or that's David Tittle or like David Martinez. Like you knew, like you would see them on the streets and like, oh, hey, what's up? Like you looked up to them. So like I feel like kids need that nowadays.
Definitely, and maybe we could have the football players come to the Pop Warner and just kind of like be their little superhero kind of,
exactly, maybe like once a week or once.
Exactly, like a buddy, like encourage them and keep going.
The other thing was that there's a Calexico basketball league. It's called Cesta. I don't know if you heard of it.
I haven't heard of it.
No, okay, maybe I'll get you in touch with. His name is Jesse Contreras.
I've heard of that name. I know that name.
He ran for city council.
Maybe that's why. Okay.
But he has a basketball league. He's been doing it for a long time. My son was...
Wait, I do know him. I feel like I do know him. Does he have a daughter that...
Yeah.
Okay,
she's in cross country.
Yes.
Both of his daughters.
Okay, yes, I do know him.
So he has the basketball league, and he's been doing it for a long time. And a lot of the kids that are in the varsity team now went through his little league. It's called
That's
Cesta.
awesome.
So I feel that we need more of that where somewhere where our kids can go, and like my son, my youngest, he's a big nerd and he only wants to play video games, but I force him to go out
and play sports.
So like if we had more of that in the community, there would be more
definitely
kids that would maybe pick it up and go up to high school and
no, I've heard of his league, and then the Heat. The Heat. So there's a couple of leagues, so that's good. I think it's great. The more kids get involved, I think the better.
Yeah,
the better.
Yeah,
and we're all a community, so even though we're playing on different travel teams, that at the end of the day we all come together and we're Bulldogs at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. Like I said, I really wanted the community to like get to know you, make sure, because a lot of times like people don't even know that we have a new AD. Like, oh, like there's a new AD. We have an AD. It's like, so like I kind of like wanted it to be out there, just because I think it's important that the community kind of gets involved and helps you out as well. Because
I appreciate that. Yes.
It's important for our kids to like have that, especially have somebody that's in the field like education, where they know that education comes first, and
Definitely.
And at the same time you kind of know how to guide them, or have a connection with other teachers that you can say like, hey, can you tutor this kid? He's a really good athlete, but he needs help in math or whatnot. So yeah, I really wanted to put that out there. So thank you for being here.
I appreciate it. Thank you. It's an honor that you invited me. I appreciate it.
No, and yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Oh, and you know what? I'm glad that I brought you guys here, because you didn't know about this place, and
Yeah, no, I didn't. So I'm super happy to be here, and I'm gonna have to come check it out.
Yeah, it's a nice spot.
Yes, very nice.
Especially like on Fridays, like you're like want to chill, like.
Yeah, it's a very chill, relaxing environment. Just kind of hang out with your friends and have a beer and stuff. So
yeah, exactly.
Pretty cool.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening.
All right.
I'll see you in the next one. Peace.